Welcome back to the Aquarius Edge podcast. We love to go deep on the stuff that really matters. And today we're tackling something that I think we can all relate to, procrastination.
hmm
It's a real challenge for everyone, but especially for entrepreneurs. We're going to uncover the hidden costs that go way beyond just, missing a deadline. It can really impact your success. But don't worry, this isn't a guilt trip. We're going to keep things light and playful. And most importantly, we'll give you some practical strategies to break free.
Yeah, procrastination. It's often misunderstood, I think. People think it's just laziness, but it's actually tied to deeper things, like fear, perfectionism, feeling overwhelmed. And all of that's even more intense for entrepreneurs.
That's so true. Just imagine you're an entrepreneur. You're the CEO, the marketer, the accountant, all in one.
Yeah.
You're making a million decisions every single day, and the pressure to get it right, it can be paralyzing.
Exactly. And so you end up putting off these really crucial tasks, making those tough calls, maybe finalizing a proposal, launching a new product. It's so easy to get caught in busy work, just little tasks that feel productive, but they're not actually moving you forward.
It's like rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic, right? It might feel productive, but it's not going to save the ship.
Yeah.
And the really scary part is that these small delays can have this ripple effect. They can lead to missed opportunities, even financial hits.
It's true. Like, let's say you're finally ready to launch that new product you've been working on. You've poured your heart and soul into it. But then what happens? A competitor swoops in with a similar product. They capture the market.
Yeah.
And suddenly your window is closed.
Ouch. That's going to hurt. And it's not just about competitors either,
No.
right? What about those potential investors who were so excited about your pitch, but you took too long to get back to them, and they moved on?
All the time. Yeah, and it's not just money. It could be an amazing collaboration, something that could have taken your business to the next level, but you hesitated, and poof, the opportunity is gone.
These are real consequences that, as entrepreneurs, we really need to pay attention to. But the good news is that procrastination is a habit, and habits can be changed. We just need the right tools and strategies.
And that's what we're going to explore today. We're going to uncover those sneaky ways procrastination can sabotage your success and give you the tools to overcome it.
Exactly. And if you're ready to go even deeper, I highly recommend checking out the resources at aquariusdawning.com.
So let's dive back into those hidden costs. We've talked about missed opportunities, but what about the financial fallout?
Oh yeah, finances. It's a big one.
Imagine you just finished an amazing project for a client. You did great work, but you keep putting off sending the invoice. You'll get to it tomorrow. Tomorrow turns into next week. And all of a sudden, you're in a cash crunch because you haven't been paid for work you've already done.
It's like shooting yourself in the foot financially, and it creates so much stress.
Right. And it's not just invoices. What about expenses you need to track or those budget reviews you keep postponing? All these little delays can become huge headaches.
Absolutely. And let's not forget about our reputation. Reliability is everything in business. If you're constantly missing deadlines, not following through, taking forever to respond to emails, you're telling the world, you can't count on me.
And that's tough to recover from. Once that reputation is damaged, it's really hard to rebuild that trust. Clients start to question your commitment. Partners might not want to work with you. Even your team could lose faith.
It's a domino effect. It's a reminder that procrastination isn't just a personal quirk, it's a professional liability. And as entrepreneurs, we've got to take it seriously. But here's the thing. We're not powerless against this.
Definitely not. Recognizing the problem is the first step. And that's where self-awareness comes in. Understanding your own procrastination patterns. What are those tasks that you just dread? What are the things that send you down that procrastination rabbit hole?
Like figuring out your procrastination kryptonite, right? Once you know what you're dealing with, you can actually come up with strategies to fight back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
For example, let's say you tend to procrastinate on tasks that feel really overwhelming. Break those tasks down. Make them into smaller, more manageable steps.
The good old divide and conquer approach. It's amazing how much easier something feels when you break it down into those bite-sized pieces.
Right. And also, don't underestimate the power of deadlines. They create that urgency and accountability that we sometimes need.
Deadlines are like that little nudge, a little friendly reminder that, hey, time is ticking. You got to get moving. But I've got to admit, I have a bit of a love-hate relationship with deadlines. Sometimes they feel like this looming shadow, this big source of stress.
Yeah, I get it. That's why it's so important to set realistic deadlines. Don't set yourself up for failure with timelines you just can't meet. It's about finding that sweet spot, between challenge and something you can actually achieve.
It's like training for a marathon. You don't start by running 26 miles on day one. You build up your stamina over time.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to give yourself a little buffer time, for those unexpected things that always seem to come up. Life happens. So true. Okay, let's switch gears a bit. Let's talk about prioritization. When you're an entrepreneur, you're wearing all the hats. It can feel like everything is a priority. How do you even decide where to focus when there are a million demands on your time?
That's where a framework like the Eisenhower matrix can be really helpful.
Yeah.
It helps you distinguish between what's truly urgent and important and what just feels urgent.
Okay, all ears. I love practical tools that we can use right away. Break it down for me.
Think of it this way. Urgent tasks, they need your attention right now. Important tasks contribute to your long-term goals. The Eisenhower matrix helps you visualize this so you can focus on those high-impact things, the things that are both urgent and important.
So that's where we should be spending our time and energy. Those are the tasks that will move our business forward.
Exactly. And once you've figured out those top priorities, then you can start delegating or even eliminating those lower priority things that are just draining you.
Delegation, that's a superpower so many entrepreneurs need to master, myself included. Recognizing that we don't have to do it all. It's not just freeing up your time either. It's about empowering your team, creating opportunities for growth.
So true. Okay, I want to share a little strategy that has worked wonders for me. It's called the 2-minute rule. It's so simple, but it's a game changer when it comes to those little tasks that we tend to put off.
Oh, I love the 2-minute rule. It's all about taking action instead of letting things pile up.
Right, exactly. The rule is if something takes less than 2 minutes to do it, do it now. Don't put it on your to-do list. Just get it done.
It's amazing how much mental clutter we can clear out by just tackling those quick wins.
Yeah.
Responding to a quick email, scheduling a meeting, those things can be done in 2 minutes.
And by getting them done, we prevent them from becoming those nagging little thoughts in the back of our minds.
So important. Okay, let's shift gears again. Let's talk about time blocking. This is one I consider essential for entrepreneurs. It's how you take control of your schedule and make sure you're making time for those important but not always urgent tasks.
I've experimented with time blocking, and it's helped me so much to create structure and be intentional with my time.
It's about being proactive with your time instead of just letting it slip away. You schedule specific blocks of time for different activities. It's like a roadmap for your time. You're making sure you have dedicated time for everything, from strategy to emails to creative work.
It's like treating your time with the same respect you would give a client meeting or an important presentation.
Exactly. And it helps you create a structure that actually supports your goals and priorities. Instead of just reacting to whatever comes your way, you're designing your day to match your vision for success.
Going from reactive to proactive, from feeling like you're constantly chasing your tail to feeling in control.
And once you've scheduled those time blocks, treat them as sacred appointments. Don't let distractions or interruptions derail you.
It's about saying no to those shiny objects that try to pull us away from what really matters.
So important. Another powerful way to overcome procrastination is to get some support. Share your goals with someone and ask them to help you stay accountable.
It's like having your own personal cheerleader, someone who's in your corner rooting for you.
Exactly. Whether it's a mentor, a business partner, a coach, or even a good friend, having someone to hold you accountable can make all the difference.
It's like having a workout buddy.
Yeah.
You're more likely to show up and give it your all when you know someone is counting on you.
Right. And community is huge too. Joining a mastermind group, going to networking events, connecting with other entrepreneurs online, it all provides that sense of support and inspiration.
Like building your own network of accountability partners,
Mm-hmm.
a tribe of people who are all working towards their goals and supporting each other. And if you're looking for that kind of community, I highly recommend checking out AquariusDawning.com. It's an amazing resource for entrepreneurs.
It really is. Okay, let's talk about another trap that a lot of us fall into, especially entrepreneurs. It's the pursuit of perfection.
Perfectionism, that sneaky little voice that tells you everything has to be flawless before you can share it with the world.
And here's the thing, perfection is an illusion. And it can really hold you back. You get so caught up in trying to make it perfect that you never actually launch or create.
You're stuck in this endless loop of editing and revising, but you never actually hit publish.
Exactly. And that's why it's so important to embrace imperfect action. Launch that website, even if it's not perfect. Send out that proposal, even if you're still tweaking a few things. Get your product out there, even if it's in beta testing.
Progress over perfection.
Right.
And feedback is how we grow.
And that's the entrepreneurial spirit. Being willing to experiment, take risks, to learn from mistakes, and keep moving forward.
Embracing the messy, imperfect journey. And knowing that every step, even the missteps, is a chance to learn. So how do we actually escape that trap? How do we get out of that perfectionism mindset?
One thing that really helps is setting time limits. Instead of getting lost in trying to make it perfect, decide in advance how much time you'll spend on something and stick to it.
It's like setting a boundary,
Huh.
right? Like, okay, I'm going to give this my all for the next hour, and then I'm moving on, perfect or not.
Exactly. Done is better than perfect. It's so much better to get something out there and get feedback than to keep it hidden away forever. Chasing some ideal that doesn't even exist.
That's so true. Okay, so let's talk about distractions. How do we deal with those pesky things that are constantly trying to steal our attention?
Distractions are a productivity killer. Create a distraction-free zone whenever you can. Find a workspace where you can really focus. Turn off notifications, silence your phone, and resist that urge to check social media every 5 seconds.
It's like creating a little sanctuary for productivity, right? A space where you can just tune out the noise and get to work. And yeah, sometimes I even find that just changing my physical environment helps. If I'm feeling stuck at my desk, I'll head to a coffee shop or a library, just to shake things up a bit.
That's a great idea. Sometimes a change of scenery can really boost your focus and creativity. And don't forget about movement. If you're feeling stuck, get up and take a walk. Stretch, do some jumping jacks, anything to get your blood flowing.
Movement is magic. It clears your head and gives you that energy boost.
Yeah.
And speaking of energy, let's talk about self-care.
It's so important. Self-care is not selfish. It's essential. You can't expect to be productive and focused if you're running on fumes. Make sure you're getting enough sleep, eating healthy foods, and taking breaks.
You got to fill your own cup first,
Yeah.
right? Then you have something to give to others, your clients, your team, your family. Self-care doesn't have to be complicated. Sometimes it's just taking 5 minutes to meditate, listening to music, or stepping outside for some fresh air.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's about those little rituals that bring you joy and help you feel grounded. And don't forget about self-compassion. We all procrastinate. It's part of being human. So be kind to yourself.
Absolutely. Treat yourself with the same kindness you'd offer a friend. And remember, progress, not perfection. That's the goal.
Exactly. Overcoming procrastination is a journey, not a destination. There will be bumps along the way. But if you're self-aware and you're determined, and you use the strategies we've talked about today, you can break free and achieve those entrepreneurial dreams.
I love that. And if you want even more support and resources, be sure to check out AquariusDawning.com. It's an amazing hub for entrepreneurs. It really is. Well, this has been a great conversation. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into procrastination.
Yes, thank you so much for all the insights. And to all of our listeners out there, remember you've got this. Keep pushing those boundaries and create the business and the life of your dreams. Thanks for listening to the Aquarius Edge podcast.